Cowboy owner Jerry Jones never dreamed '89 would be so bad. He recruited one of college's greats known for winning, but all that followed were losses. 13 in all, a season everyone would like to forget. Coming off 2 straight losses, last Sunday the Giants were determined not to slip again. Running through a snowstorm, their offense regained early season form and kept their playoff hopes alive. And even with Lawrence Taylor sidelined, the Giants still had plenty of reasons to believe in their defense.
The Cowboys were this bad, their only high spot was tying the Giants. And today they hope to keep the Giants out of the playoffs at least for a week.
From Giants Stadium, it's Saturday afternoon football in the National Football League. The New York Giants are at home today to their division rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. The Giants come in tied for the division lead with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Philadelphia, of course, plays on Monday night at New Orleans. The Cowboys dead last in the NFL with a 1-13 mark. It is cold, but not as bad as it was a couple of weeks ago when the Giants were at home against Philadelphia. Temperature at game time is 23 degrees. Wind out of the north at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and possibility of snow flurries later this afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome to Giant Stadium. The task for the Giants is quite simple. If they win today, they're in the playoffs. For the Cowboys at 1-13, it's quite simple as well. They can't wait for this year to be over, and they're looking forward to 1990. My partner is Terry Bradshaw. Terry, obviously New York should win the game. How has Bill Parcells approached getting his team ready for this?
Well, I wish Bill was probably as confident as you are, vice versa. Bill Parcells this week has driven his football team as hard as he has all year. And talking to the players, that's what they're all saying. He is scared to death that what happened to them in their closing game last year against the Jets, which if the Giants had won that game, they would have made the playoffs. He's worried that that same type of attitude prevails on his team coming into a Cowboy game that everyone says should win. So he's driven that home very hard this week, worked him extremely hard because he does not want a repeat performance of the Jet game last year.
It looks nice, but it's not. It's quite cold here, and the field is frozen, as a matter of fact. Now, given those atmospheric conditions, can special teams play an important role today?
Oh, Vern, I think you're absolutely correct. The real thing I'm concerned about today is the kicking game, and as this field thaws out, moisture will build up. The punters will be slower in planting their punting foot. The kickers will be slower in planting the support foot for the kick. Therefore, they will be slower, so there's a possibility today of blocked punts and kicks. Kickoff teams, too, are going to have to stay in their lanes and not be too aggressive for fear that the punt return and kickoff return teams have the advantage and go all the way.
All right, Terry, and right off the bat, we see the effect of the conditions because the Cowboys won the toss, but they have elected to take the wind at their back. So the Giants will receive Luis Zendejas. No bounty on him this week. He will kick off. Mark Ingram, number 82, is one of the 2 deep men. The other is Dave Meggett, number 30. And we are set to go on a blustery day. Zendejas will have a teammate hold the ball on the tee. During the national anthem a moment ago, the ball blew off the tee and went 45 yards downfield. High and very short given the wind, taken at the 15 by Ingram. Now, flag is down, and so is Ingram, and we'll have an illegal block, I'm sure. The tackle made by Scott Ankrum, number 81. Referee today is Dick Hantak. And it's going to be a holding call against the New York Giants.
Holding on the return, number 75, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Bill Sims is in at quarterback. And up front, he's got Moore, Roberts, Oates, Williams, Riesenberg, and Moat. Of course, Bavaro is on injured reserve. Anderson and Carthen. The wide receivers, Ingram, Emmanuel, Baker, and Stacy Robinson will come in on obvious passing downs. And off to Otis Anderson, and he's out near the 19-yard line. The tackle made by Eugene Lockhart, and that is the 196th tackle of the season for Gene Lockhart, who got some help from Ken Norton. Dallas defensively, and this is where they're really weak, but they have improved in recent weeks, especially against the run. Up front, Danny Noonan gets his second start at defensive end. They moved him outside. Hamill, Broughton, and Jeffcoat. Lockhart is on his way to a 200 season tackle, and the secondary, a lot of changes. Hendricks gets his third start of his career. Francis, a new starter on the right corner spot. Everson Walls is now backup safety, 2nd and 5. And the hit made by Lockhart, that's his 197th tackle. As Gene Lockhart is bidding for a Pro Bowl bid, he's already broken the season record for tackles for the Cowboys, and he comes out now on 3rd and long.
Loves to play the 4-3, the middle linebacker. He said that the key for me at middle linebacker now is that I can be aggressive. I can read through the guard, through the center, through the backs, things he learned while he was being taught the flex, and I can apply that with the middle linebacker of the 4-3 where I'm allowed to run to the football.
3rd and 4 out of the shotgun. Sims with time. Across the middle. Caught. First down. Stephen Baker. Manny Hendricks catches him from behind. But it's a first down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 24.
Well, the key right off the bat is the fact that the Giant line gave Sims enough time to look to the left and go 1, 2, 3. Everyone was covered. Actually, Baker earlier in this route, Sims looked at him, came off of him, and then threw the deep crossing route to his right. That takes a long time to develop. It takes an offensive line to give you that much time. They did an excellent job.
Baker's going to see a lot of action today. Odessa Turner out last week, not expected to play today with an injury. 2 receivers to the left side now, topping the screen on 1st and 10. Maurice Carthus trapped behind the line and dropped for a loss at the 40.
Parcells said coming into this game, Vern, he said, the one key that we must get on top of this team early. We've got to show our dominance early in the game. Last week against the Broncos, the opening drive took 8 minutes and 50-something seconds off the clock, all the way down for the Giants to take an early 7-0 lead.
2nd down and 13 again. The Cowboys won the toss and elected to go with the wind behind them. So the Giants go into the breeze here in the first quarter. Dave Meggett comes to the lineup. And he split wide to the left in the slide. Sims screen pass. Otis Anderson. Norton flies by him and misses the tackle. And Anderson is across Cowboy country with a first down at the 43-yard line. Brian Williams, who is starting at right guard, made the key block on a 16-yard gain.
Screen plays are designed to allow the rush to get to the quarterback, and then the ball is thrown over their heads. Notice the tackle. Notice everyone giving Riesenberg backing up, allowing the rush to come. And now the little dump-off pass there's Williams downfield throwing the key block. Get it into the hands of a big back. Don't forget, last week, Meggett took 57 yards to get the opening score for the Giants.
First down and 10, New York at the Cowboy 43. Blitz coming from the Cowboys. Sims, maybe he does audible at the line of scrimmage. Audibles to a running play, and Carthen is caught for a loss.
Didn't believe it, did he? He didn't believe the linebacker was coming. He had a long count, Sims did. He saw Norton come up, fake it, come up. The safety came in behind it, which should have given him the indication this is a blitz. Sims didn't believe it, stayed with the play, and it didn't work.
Bill Sims looks over at the Giant bench. Dave Meggett comes back in with the play now. It'll be 2nd down and 14. Giants won the first meeting between these two teams, 1st of October down in Texas, 30-13. 2nd and 14 now. Manuel comes in motion, and the Cowboys threaten the blitz. Now back out of it.
Blitz, audible by Sims.
And they are blitzing. Here comes Del Rio. Sims goes left, and it's knocked down by Ron Francis. The Cowboys as a team have only 7 interceptions this year. Francis has 1 of them, and 3 of those 7 came against the Giants in the first meeting.
Well, the real key on a 4-3, if one guy blitzes, you don't fool with it. But if you see, whoops, let me clear that up. If you see this guy and this guy come, now you have a 6-man rush, and you do the blitz control out in the left flat. Sims will then try to, he's got man-for-man coverage, got his man open, with the ball slightly thrown in behind.
Ron Francis is the only cornerback for the Cowboys who has an interception this year. 3rd and 14, 4 wide receiver set. 4-man rush by the Cowboys. The pass complete. A tackle is broken. First down at the 32. Boy, there's a sign of a team in desperate straits. Broken tackles. And Bill Bates is the man who had a shot at the tackle and missed it.
Normally when you run a hook route, a hook is where the receiver goes down, stops, and turns around and looks at the quarterback. When it's 3rd down and long yardage, the receiver is normally taught, go beyond the yardage mark necessary for the first down and turn around, and the quarterback, when he completes it to you, you have the first down. That time the route was short, therefore it took a great run to get the first down.
Well, I called the first down. It's a little, oh, yeah, it is.
Good job.
Barely. Good eyes.
Yeah, good eyes.
Got the glasses fixed. First down at the 33. My partner had his glasses break on him about 10 minutes before we went on the air. That's frightening, isn't
They
it?
exploded on me.
When we reach middle age and we need those things and they ain't there.
Do you have a mouse in your pocket?
Yes. I'm including you in my age bracket.
Middle
yes.
age?
Welcome to the 40s, Mr. B. 1st and 10. Albritton dancing around. Del Rio coming on the blitz. The handoff to Anderson. Gets by Noonan. And then Dean Hamill comes over the back and makes the tackle.
You know, a game like this, Vern, is very frightening, and I can understand why Bill Parcells has been driving the Giants hard this week, because you have two different types of teams. You have a team that needs a win to get into the playoffs, and then you have a team like the Cowboys who are looking for respect, and they're out here freelancing, having a grand old time, and those are the teams that scare you to death. And Phil Simms threw 3 interceptions against this defense the last time they played, so concentration is an absolute must today.
Simms has hit 2 big plays on 3rd down to get the Giants to this spot. 2nd and 9, opening drive of the quarter. Anderson in motion, Simms back. Goes left. Willie Broughton and Ken Norton have a meeting at Phil Simms' middle, and it'll be 3rd and long again, and they've overcome 2 of those so far. Here's Broughton, who a year ago was selling cars. Played for Jimmy Johnson in Miami, free agent. One of the 26 new players on this 47-man roster from a year ago. And Johnson, who said yesterday to Terry and me, yeah, I'm ready for the season to be over.
Ready to get some Plan B people ready. He's already said that he's talked to his owner, and Jerry Jones, and he said, I've convinced him, and the season's over. We're going to get heavily involved in Plan B.
3rd and 11. Giants are 2 for 2 on long 3rd down conversions. Blitz again by the Cowboys. Simms behind his intended receiver, Stacy Robinson. It'll be 4th down, and we'll get a chance perhaps to test the leg strength of Bjorn Nitmo, who has replaced Raul Alegre. Nope, they're going to go for the punt into this strong wind. It'll be Landeta instead of Nitmo. It would be a 51-yarder, and with this breeze, there's just not much of a chance.
Not much of a chance. Plus, Landeta is kicking to the worst end zone. The east end zone, the one he is kicking to, is where the wind swirls everywhere. Very hard to kick that area.
Goes left. Fair catch called by Cornell Burbage. That's only the 3rd punt he has tried to return this year. And he still hasn't returned a punt for any yardage. It's down to 6.
A rebate is a rebate is a rebate, right?
Johnson, and angry Jimmy Johnson, why he chose to fair catch the ball at the 6-yard line. And Troy Aikman and his offensive teammates get to start it from inside their own 10-yard line. Aikman, the rookie, 9 touchdowns and 13 interceptions so far. Offensive line gave up 5 sacks last week. 2-A Newton Stepnoski, the rookie from Pittsburgh, gets his 3rd start of his career. Kerr, Jeff Zimmerman starts for Gogan at right tackle. Paul Palmer and Johnson in the backfield. The wide receivers, Dixon and Shepard, Burbage and Ford come in on passing downs. From the 6, 1st and 10. Blitz on 1st down. Handoff Paul Palmer. And he gets a yard. Eric Howard, the nose tackle, makes the stop for the Giants. Washington, Leonard Marshall join him up front. Lawrence Taylor is starting, out last week with back spasms and has that hairline fracture. And Gary Reason's the hero of the win on the road over Denver. And the defensive secondary, Collins and Williams join Kennard and the rookie Myron Guyton, with the white men coming in on obvious passing lanes. Second down and 9, backs are split. No score, first quarter. And Aikman will throw from the end zone. Drills it. Oh, boy. Gary Reasons that close to his second interception of the year.
Forced out of the pocket was Aikman in a simple little 2-deep zone. Not a lot of time for Aikman to work the field deep. He actually wanted to go deep with his receiver down the middle. Got the pressure, turned around, tried to find Folsom, and Reasons, the hero from last week, dropped a sure interception.
3rd and 9. Junior Twaddle-Latossi comes in, number 25.
You won't see the shotgun. Normally the Cowboys will be in a shotgun. Too much noise.
They're close in at the 10-yard line. Aikman back. Dodges to the right side and will run, but is forced out of bounds. It'll be a punting situation. Greg Cox, who is perhaps spying on Troy Aikman today, that might be one of his responsibilities, Terry.
Well, you'll see that a lot of teams now are spying Aikman because he is the leading rusher over the last 4 weeks, over 200 yards rush. See Cox, number 38, come in, and he will be the man responsible for putting his face in front of Aikman and following all over the football field. Occasionally also they'll switch it up and put Pepper Johnson over.
Mike Saxon had one blocked last week in Philadelphia. Bates turns around to check and see if Saxon is ready. Megan waits near midfield. Low snap. Almost blocked again. It gets a Cowboy roll, make it at the 46. Make it to the 39-yard line. The tackle is made by Cornell Burbage. It's a 16-yard return of a 46-yard punt. But the Giants in great shape. And watch Mike Saxon.
The wind affects this ball. Notice this ball will be low. When a punter has to reach down and pick the ball up, it throws his timing off. Another thing, Saxon said, in this game, I am going to have to extend my right arm out and keep the ball extremely low to punt it so that the wind will not have any effect on the drop. If I drop it high, then the wind turns the nose and I might shank it. So I've got to keep the ball low.
1st and 10, New York. No score, 7-11 to go, first quarter. Anderson runs into Willie Broughton and Jack Del Rio, and down at the bottom of the stack again, Eugene Lockhart. That's his 198th tackle.
And the countdown is on to 200. Another thing very interesting, I'm sure for the Giants and Sims and Ron Earhart, the excellent offensive coordinator of the Giants, patience is something I imagine both of them are having a very difficult time with, because I know that Sims would like to put this ball in the air and get on top of these Cowboys early.
It's 2nd down and 7. Split backs. Cowboys have blitzed a lot, and they look like they might be coming this time. And off to Anderson, comes right. Runs into a wall and is down at the 35-yard line. Forward progress. Gene Lockhart having by far his best season. Now in his 6th year out of the University of Houston. 198 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. He leads the team in picks and 1 fumble return for a touchdown.
And he's the one really shining star that the Cowboys have. And as you saw at the top of that graphic, All-Pro. This is a guy that should be in the Pro Bowl. You don't lead the National Football League. I don't care what team you're playing on or how many games they won or lost. You don't get that many tackles and not be selected to the Pro Bowl.
3rd and 6. No score. Shotgun. And a 4-man rush with the spy. This time it's Hamill. And Stacy Robinson makes the catch in front of Manny Hendricks. Manny Hendricks, who is starting in place of Everson Walls, who's been demoted to a backup free safety.
Manny Hendricks said to us that I like to cover guys that are speed route runners. Not route runners, but guy with speed, because I match up well my speed versus there. But the real key for a speed route guy, a guy that has a lot of speed, a receiver, is that when he runs crossing routes, he automatically puts the defender in a trailing position and virtually impossible to cover him.
And for the 3rd time, the Giants overcome the 3rd and long. He's got a 1st and 10 at the 20. 19, actually. Inside handoff to Anderson. Surge carries him the 16-yard line and into the arms of Ken Norton. Otis Anderson, who looked to be a cinch at the middle of the year for a 1,000-yard season, Terry, but the 32-year-old legs have slowed down a little bit the last month or so.
Well, look at the rushes. 277 rushes coming into this football game, and that's a lot for a back that's 32 years old. And 32 is not old, but for a football player and a running back, it certainly is. And they have spelled him with Meggett. Meggett has had fumbling problems, and so they relied on Otis. Otis had the operation to his backside last week and still played well in the Denver game.
Second down, no score, ball at the 16. Second and 7. There's a hit right at the point of contact. Dean Hamill, who came over from the Redskins. He's one of 10 players on this Cowboy roster who was not here when the season started. It has been the ultimate in revolving doors.
Excuse me, Bern. Hamill just down in a left tackle stance and just penetrating. Just comes straight across to your right of your screen there. It just comes down inside, turns Brian Williams loose, penetrates, reads it himself, pays no attention to the guard in front of him, and a tackle that has not have any responsibilities other than to penetrate. An excellent job done by Hamill.
And again, the 3rd and long. The Giants are through 3 of 4 on 3rd down conversion.
Looks like a blitz.
Ray Horton follows Ingram over the left side. The blitz is coming. Sims with time. No flag. Ingram wants a flag called on, I believe it's Ray Horton who was defending. And there is none. It'll be Bjorn Mitmo's turn.
Anytime you have safety blitzes, you have receivers that are covered man for man. There's no one in the middle of the football field, and the place to go is to run the post. Now, that's a good route, but the wrong thing that Ingram did, he ran down the middle. All he had to do was run across the field, and he would have given Sims a big open target. He ran down the middle, made it very easy to be covered.
33-yard effort for Nitmo, the man who has taken Raul Alegre's spot. And Jeff Hostetler will hold. Cowboys were scored upon on a fake field goal last week by Philadelphia. Oh, look at the wind catch that thing. And somehow it knuckled ball through. That looked like Charlie Huff's best pitch. And the Giants have taken a 3-0 lead. Boy, he put the Swedish meatball on that one. That away. They're all the way. 3-0 New York.
Kick had been another 10 yards back. More than likely, Nitmo would have missed it.
Now he's getting ready to kick off. Bjorn Nitmo from Sweden, of course, by way of Appalachian State. I'm reminded of Jim Zorn when he played for the Seattle Seahawks. He and his wife were expecting a child. He said they were going to name him Bjorn because he wanted the headline to say, Bjorn Zorn born. Here's the kick. Derek Shepard at the 38-yard line.
That's good stuff. I don't know how you remember those things. You amaze me.
Disease of a sick mind. Cowboys out at the 38-yard line. Derek Shepard with the return. Shepard who missed last week. Interesting, the Cowboys have given up 6 touchdowns on returns this year. One of them is a punt return for a touchdown, and it was run back by Derek Shepard when he was playing for New Orleans. He's another of the recent acquisitions of this team. 1st and 10. Back to split. Aikman looks left all the way and then goes across the middle for Folsom. Incomplete at the New York 45-yard line. The coverage by Myron Guyton, the strong safety.
That's really the way to throw the ball. You notice how Aikman really drilled that football in there from the area that he's throwing the football. If he throws the ball very easily, just puts a touch on it, the wind from that area will push the ball back to the left, back to the inside. In warming up, Aikman was experiencing with his throws right and left and found that the best way to throw to the right is to really gun the football.
2nd down and 10. Dixon comes left. 3-0, 3:09 to go, 1st quarter. Derek Shepard comes in motion. Aikman with Taylor coming on the blitz, and he is sacked by Eric Howard. Lawrence Taylor came left, and Taylor's limping just a little bit, and the pressure forced Aikman back to his left and right into the arms of Eric Howard.
Well, the real key was the fact that Marshall got to the outside. Taylor went to the inside, and the pressure by Taylor forces Aikman to pull the ball down. Now what? Marshall to the outside, Taylor to the inside. There's the game. And now Howard comes around, and he forces Aikman to pull the ball down and hit the ground.
3rd and 19. Out of the shotgun now. Stepnoski, the rookie center, over the ball. Eric Howard looking right at him. Stepnoski said the toughest thing about becoming a center was learning the shotgun snap. Aikman deep. Dixon is down there. The pass is incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Terry Kennard was back covering.
Sheldon White and Terry Kennard deep. The ball up in the air. This is not a stadium in this time of the year where you can afford to throw a long pass by waiting and trying to then throw it 50 yards. You throw long passes in the Giant Stadium by throwing it 10 or 15 yards, have the receiver catch it, and then run the distance.
Dave Meggett back to return for the 2nd time, and Mike Saxon will punt it away. Low snap last time, and again, keep in mind, Terry said special teams could be very significant today in this weather. Here's Saxon, blocked. Giants at the 11. Dwayne Giles got it. 2nd block in as many weeks.
When you have bad field conditions, punters have a tendency to want to make sure they don't shank the ball, and the way you do that, you slow down your punt, and the way you do that is you go real slow to the right of your screen. Giles 54 coming inside. Notice Saxton making sure of his footing. That allowed Giles time to get around to the outside, penetrate, and block the punt. Once again, notice the kicker. First of all, the ball slides to his right, forcing an adjustment by Saxton. That complicates matters even more.
2nd block for Saxon in as many weeks. Dwayne Giles got it. He was cut by the Eagles earlier this year, and ironically enough, had a tryout with the Cowboys back in October. They decided not to sign him. Up the middle to the 5, Maurice Carthen.
If you had to describe the running game of the Giants, this team does not have a halfback and a fullback. Both of these running backs are called running backs. They're big people. The reason they have 2 big backs in there and don't classify them a fullback or a halfback is that they want the other back away from the tight end. He is really a tight end in the backfield, and when they run weak, the Giants, that back is the tight end leading the blocking for the other back.
2nd down and goal from the 5. It's 3-0, 1:40 to go.
Press to the outside. Sims makes the audible.
Receivers talking to each other left side. And the handoff goes to Anderson. Bounces off one. Flag is down. Tackle made by Ray Horton, number 20. That'll be holding. Giants have sputtered offensively, particularly the latter part of the year. Bill Parcells said, we're not as good.
Holding. Offense. Number 72. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
That's Doug Riesenberg, and ironically enough, it's only the 2nd penalty called all year on Riesenberg, and it's the 1st holding call. He had been penalized just 1 time for 5 yards before that flag.
That's amazing, isn't it, for a tackle who are the key blockers in the pass set of the quarterback, is to have a tackle that has only 1 holding call all year. I bet if you look at the other tackle, I bet he has more, because normally the left tackle has the blind side of the quarterback, and he'll cheat when he has to.
2nd down and 14. Sims with time across the middle, man open. Ingram at the 5. And knocked down at the 4 by Gene Lockhart, who gets 1 more tackle closer to the 200 mark.
The real key, beautiful route by Ingram, and this is a smart route. Watch how he comes off. Manny Hendricks 45. Ingram in motion to pick up blitzes if they show up late. Now he is reading. He's not really running a route. He's running a route and reading the coverage, and he will either stop right there if he has zones and linebackers are there. If it's someone chasing him, he continues going across the field.
Cowboys have called timeout. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 4 when we come back. The Giants are 3 of 5 on 3rd down conversions, and they lead by 3.
There's never been an offer like this before. Now for the first time, for
We'll have him on with us in the third quarter. Third and goal from the 4. Sims on a roll. Being chased. Incomplete. No in the grasp. Ken Norton got there. It'll be 4th down. And we're going to have Bjorn Nitmo back in. Norton was draped on Sims, but Dick Hantak did not call grasp and control.
Long count by Sims, primarily to pick up the delayed blitz by Norton. 51. Notice he penetrates at the very last moment. That's why Sims went on a long count, to see if he could detect the blitz. If he could do that, he could get out of the play. It came late. Therefore, the Cowboys won that battle. Nice job by Norton.
One of Nitmo's 3 misses this year came from inside the 20. Hostetler again will hold. He knuckled it through last time. Knuckled again. Boy, that wind, you really get a sense of the effect of the wind. A 22-yard field goal for Nitmo. It's 6-0. Giants lead it with 41 seconds to go, first quarter. Area here on this Saturday in December. The Cowboys, as a matter of fact, won the toss and took the wind. And in answer to that, the Giants have driven twice into the wind and gotten 2 field goals from Bjorn Nitmo to take a 6-0 lead. Young man who played collegiately at Appalachian State, and the ball blows off. Then you have to have somebody come up and hold that ball on the tee for it. Yep. Somebody get up here.
Adrian White's going to jump up there, and Sheldon White, number 39, and you surely don't want to get on the other side, do you? No, most kickers are right-footed. You might end up on the 50.
That's right. And we're set to go with 41 seconds to go, first quarter. Giants with it. Oh, boy, there's the effect of the wind. Fair catch called at the 37-yard line, or the 33-yard line.
Smart play by Keith Jennings that time to fair catch it, and there's a flag down on the field. But one of the things I might ask is why attempt into that breeze to place the ball on a tee and kick it high? Why not just lay it down and hit it flat and squib it down through there, because that wind is blowing so high it sends the ball straight up in the air. You know, just squib it, just lay it on the ground and just kick and let it, helicopter through there.
Offside against the Giants. There's the little streamer at the top of the goalpost.
Offside, number 21 on the kickoff. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Well, Dick Hantak's not going to take the time to stop and face this side. He's going to talk while walking.
I don't blame him.
It's the old talk and walk technique of officiating.
Cowboys playing the percentages here, thinking that they had good field goal. Had good position that time with that pop-up kickoff, but now thinking that maybe Nitmo will have another little pop-up and they'll be.
I think they are going to scrib it now. Jimmy Johnson looks out. They elected to take it. Nope, now it's going to go on the tee.
Yeah, so you could just lay that thing down flat on the ground, turn it sideways, have it run in parallel, and just kick it right in the middle and pick out an area and just blast that thing, and it'll just squiggle down through there. The wind will have no effect, but and there's a possibility also, if you squib it, that you'll hit one of the front linemen there and it'll bounce back and you recover it.
Now we've changed our minds again.
Well, so much for
I like your explanation.
Well, I thought it was pretty good myself. I was impressed with it.
I was writing it down.
Sure you were.
Here's the kick. Well, they got 5 yards extra out of it, and a flag that is flown into the breeze and then takes a left turn. Renee Thompson, the man who was offside and who has been a star of special teams out of Baylor for Bill Parcells, made the tackle. And here's Dick Hantak. And it's against Dallas.
Whoa. So now you take back that 15 yards, and now it's a 10-yard loss on it.
Illegal block on a return, number 40. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Bill Bates again. Watch Renee Thompson. He has been an outstanding special teams player for the Giants this year.
Notice he's leaning inside, and all he's doing is checking to make sure he's not past the ball before Nitmo hits it. If it does, then he's offsides, and then after he sees that, he's in that L3 position. That's the attack position where he goes for the ball.
Now from the 28 with 28 seconds to go. Aikman is back. Here comes Taylor. Misses him. And the pass right side caught by Cornell Burbage, and he's out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Burbage with his 11th catch of the year. Among the other problems the Cowboys have, Their two best wide receivers, Michael Irvin and Kelvin Martin, both back home with knee surgery. And as a matter of fact, Irvin had to go back in and clean some more out. He may not be back next year. He may be looking at 2 years out. Total offense so far, 91 yards to 1 total for the Cowboys. And they have the win behind them. Last week in the second quarter, they had 1 yard against the Eagles.
Just 2 down linemen now for the Giants.
Yep. Marshall and Howard come. Aikman steps up, and he'll scramble. Has a first down plus some, and is down at the 46-yard line.
One of the keys for only 2 down linemen, and the Giants were one of the few teams that can do this, Vern, because the other linebackers are so big that they are as big as linemen. Lawrence Taylor now with that bad ankle, with the back spasms last week, giving hot pursuit. Good job by Tuanay forcing Taylor wide, and now the pursuit is on. And Aikman, the leading rusher the last 3 or 4 games, doing a good job of getting the first down for the Cowboys.
End of the quarter.
Engineering. Ever ready. 100 years of meeting your power and safety needs. And by Michelob. One taste will tell you why the night belongs to Michelob.
We're at Giants Stadium on a blustery December day. Vern Lundquist and Terry Bradshaw as the Giants lead the Dallas Cowboys 6-0. Cowboys just picked up a first down. They've got a 1st and 10 at their own 45. They have not been across midfield yet. 3 wide receivers set now. Cornerbacks back off, and Aikman with a draw play. Hands it off to Paul Palmer, and Palmer's out to the 49-yard line. Lawrence Taylor, of course, playing with a hairline fracture in his right ankle, and Terry, we noticed in the last play of the first quarter, he appears to be handicapped by it.
Well, the real point to be made here is that he's to the right, and when he has to cut back to the inside to make the sack, he has to push off of the right ankle, which is the broken ankle. So if he's going to stay in this football game, notice how he's giving, pushing off the right ankle. For him to be effective, put him on the left side where when he rushes and cuts, he'll push off his good ankle and not his bad.
He stays on the right side now. That, by the way, was the last play of the first quarter, not the last play. Here's the handoff to Palmer. And the young man who is playing the Giants for the 3rd time this year doesn't get much. Palmer started the season with Kansas City. They played in preseason. He was cut by the Chiefs, picked up by Detroit, played for Detroit when they played here back earlier in the year, was traded to the Cowboys, and now he's making his 3rd appearance against New York.
That's Boo Boo. That's not Paul, that's Boo Boo.
Boo Boo Palmer.
Boo Boo the bear, and got a little tattoo on his calf and another one on his shoulder or an arm, and he said his friends, after they get to know him, it's Boo Boo. You don't call him Paul or Mr. Palmer, just Boo Boo. So we'll refer to him from now on as Boo Boo.
Okay.
Or Paul.
If his grandma can, we can. 3rd and 6. Aikman. Caught by Palmer, and he's out of bounds with the first down at the Giant 43-yard line. Of course, the whole name came from Yogi Bear, the cartoon character, and his grandmother named him Boo Boo, and he said that's what everybody calls him, who knows him well, not Paul.
Just Boo Boo.
You can't call me Paul.
One of the things that he did say was that he wanted to be involved more in the passing attack of the Cowboys, but he can't learn all the passing game because he missed training camp, and they're just barely using him, and he feels next year that he'll be more involved. 1 year just with Kansas City, he had 3 games of over 100 yards receiving.
1st and 10. Aikman, right side, dropped by Bernard Ford. Ball was fluttering. This is the worst area to throw the football, and Phil Simms is a master in this stadium, and it comes at obviously from playing here so much, but you have to snap the ball off a little bit harder in this stadium. You can't just have a natural delivery. Everything has to go a little bit quicker. There's the move. There's Ford turning to the inside with the ball floated to the outside. You have to snap it off and throw a harder ball in Giant Stadium. Official umpire holds the ball down with his foot. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 3 wide receivers. Keith Jennings, number 84, is playing the second quarter as tight end now. He's a rookie. And he's over to the left side. 4-man rush. Aikman back. Across the middle. Tipped, incomplete. Intended for Burbage. It'll be 3rd down. And Aikman had him open. You know, I go back, Jerry, to the point. it was last year, the year before, when Phil Simms talked about this stadium and how he had to adjust his throwing motion to play in Giants
If he
Stadium.
was going to be successful in this stadium, he had to roll his hand on top of the ball so that when it came out of his hand, it had more rotation, more spiral. And the tighter the spiral in this stadium, the less the wind had an effect on it, and he could be accurate as he possibly could be.
Can you expect a visiting quarterback playing one game a year here to make that adjustment?
No, I wouldn't expect that at all.
So it's going to be a problem throughout. 3rd down and 10.
But Aikman is a strong-arm kid anyway, so it may not be as bad.
Comes the rush. Aikman goes left, and he and Dixon misconnected, and the ball is picked off. Terry Kennard has it. That's his 4th interception of the year. Dixon cut his route off short, and Aikman threw it deep to Kennard.
That's a misread. Aikman had no time to read. He had to take a chance and anticipate that Dixon would be going to the deep corner. Dixon instead ran a deep outside route. Flattened it off. Notice lower left of your screen. 86 is flat to the outside. Aikman anticipated him going deep to the corner and laid it up. The wind held the ball up and allowed Kennard to come over and make the interception.
Alive for the wild card. Here the Giants are leading the Cowboys 6-0. Terry said at the top of the show, because of the wind and the cold field, that the conditions were such that it may be a real problem for special teams, and that's proven to be the case.
Oh, the wind. And, the thing I'm noticing is how just on the punts alone, the wind is having an effect on the punts as they come back to the punter.
Back to play. Hand off to Otis Anderson. Gets by Noonan. And goes around the right side of the 31-yard line.
Hey, there's a guy that's really come on for the Cowboys. You talk about players for the Cowboys that really have bright futures, and one of them is Noonan. Played at tackle, came in the league at about 285 pounds. #1 draft choice out of Nebraska, but is now down to about 260 pounds and quicker. Now they've put him to the end position.
The Cowboys have also made changes at the corners now. Isaac Holt is in. Robert Williams is in. This is Jimmy Johnson's plan to get a long look, because he's got to make some player decisions at the end of the year. Here's Anderson going right, and Gene Lockhart, who is over the 200 tackle mark for the season, gets another. And that's, for example, just to try and give you a little perspective, Lawrence Taylor, for all his all-pro years, and indeed he does not play the middle linebacker in the 3-4, but Lawrence Taylor has never had 200 tackles in a single season. And here's his tackle on Otis Anderson.
Well, he said, I'm a guy that doesn't have a lot of talent, and I have to play with a lot of enthusiasm to overcome my lack of talent, which is unusual because the middle linebacker is really the quarterback of that group, and it takes a special man to play it, and he's having a special year.
3rd and 3. Stunts by the defensive line, and they get to the running back. The tackle made at the 30. Dave Meggett, number 30, and the Giants will have to punt.
I think it would be a terrible mistake the Giants would be making if they do not try to come out and be aggressive with their offense, to come out and not try to do things that will put the ball in the end zone just to play guess would be a terrible mistake, because these Cowboys, defensively at least, are a very solid football team.
Burbage will try and return it for the 2nd time. He's replacing Derek Shepard at that punt return spot. Landetta 28 yards the first time out when Burbage called for the fair catch at the 6. Now Landetta has the wind behind him. It goes. Nailed it. Burbage at the 15. Down to 22. Renee Thompson is the 2nd man there. The first is Perry Williams. And George Adams also a part of it. A 53-yard punt and 5 on the return. The Cowboys get it back, trailing by 6.
So I'm running late. I had to call Phoenix.
10:19 to go first half. Giants lead it on 2 Bjorn Nitmo's field goals. 6-0. And the Cowboys starting from well back again. They've not enjoyed good field position despite having the wind at their back in the first quarter. They have a rookie quarterback, a rookie center, a rookie fullback, and a rookie tight end, among others, in that offensive line right now. Stepnoski getting his 3rd start of his career. Will snap it back to Troy Aikman. And the blitz is coming. They hand it off. Darrell Johnson, the rookie fullback from Syracuse, is out near the 30-yard line. Terry Kennard makes the tackle. Byron Guyton.
Vern. Johnston, the fullback that Jimmy Johnson wanted that kind of guy he needs, a big man that can block. Don't run him a lot. Don't really want him to run him a lot in their scheme of offensive thinking. They want him to block, and they want him to be able to protect the quarterback, especially if they go to a one-back set. He is the real key to the passing attack, the fullback Johnson.
Be a 2nd down and 1, 9:43 to go, first half. 6-0. Giants up. Johnson again. Then he nudges his way forward into 31. That'll be a first down. Mark Stepnoski out of Pittsburgh was a guard, has never played center, and he's now replaced the veteran Tom Rafferty at center, but it's still a brand new experience for him in there.
Well, he's lucky. He said he got some help from Mike Webster. He's from Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh to be exactly, and Webster helped him. And the key, he said, is to snap with my right hand, and I have to learn to use my left hand. It's the weapon I have. The one thing I got to do is get it up, get it into the nose tackle quickly, and then use my other hand to push him off. He said it's very hard to be a center.
His father played high school football with Fred Biletnikoff in Erie, Pennsylvania. Here's Aikman back, gets by Taylor, and a nice catch at the 38-yard line. Nice grab by the tight end, Keith Jennings, and that is his first catch of the season.
Keith Jennings, coming into this game, said, "This is my bowl game." He said, "This is my big game. They have no record on me. They don't know if I can catch the ball. They don't know anything about me. So I have to treat this game as my bowl game." Opportunity for him. Cowboys not happy with their tight ends, Folsom and Jennings, with the possibility a wide receiver in college, now moved to tight end.
Rookie from Clemson, 2nd down and 5. 8:15 to go, first down. Shepard starts in motion to the left, followed by Guyton. They hand it off to Darrell Johnson, and he doesn't get anything. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Man, rough place to go up inside the tackles against the Giants. It really takes speed. If you really want to have an effect, as Taylor's hurt, is now taking himself out of the game.
Lawrence Taylor limping as he goes to the sideline.
To be effective against the Giants, the best way is to have a speed back, someone that can really stretch them out and then cut back. If you just go up inside, you're matching against their strength, which is the real bulk of their defense.
See if Aikman comes under Stepnoski. He will. No shotgun now on 3rd down and 3. 6-0, Giants lead. Aikman fires it right side, a sliding catch by Burbage, but he is down by Mark Collins. It'll be 4th down. And now they're going to say no catch. No catch, and Burbage will argue it. 4th down. Really, it's an academic matter because it would have been 4th down regardless if he'd made the catch. And Tom Rafferty comes on now to center on the punt by Mike Saxon. Mike Saxon's teammate, Steve Diossi, former teammate, is now playing for the Giants. And he said, "I'm going to put a bounty on Mike Saxon. They are very good friends." He said $4.95 to any of my teammates who can mess up his hair. Well, Saxon had more than his hair messed up. He's had a punt block today. There's Mike. And a short punt into the wind. Make it on the run to the 42-yard line. And again, New York will have terrific field position when they take over on offense. 7:07 to go, first half. The Giants have the ball. Cowboys, and if you count the numbers, there are 7 faces out there right now who were not there to start the game. 7 new men, as Jimmy Johnson will look at fresh faces. Ed Jones is in. Jesse Solomon, Robert Williams. There's Ed Jones. What may be his last year. Said yesterday he's not going to close down any options. He's not going to shut any doors. He might go plan B next year if the Cowboys don't want him back. One of the legendary defensive ends in this game. First down and 10. Play fake, Sims back. No pressure. Nobody open. And Sims will run. Slides down for 44. Go back to this, and Ed Jones makes the tackle, Terry.
Ed Jones, I got up and shook his hand and thanked him and told him what a pleasure it was to play against him, because I said we, meaning you and I, might never cover another game that he plays in, and I wanted to extend my congratulations to a phenomenal career. And he also pointed out to us future plans, and he said, "I want to go into boxing." And we'll...
As a promoter.
As the promoter,
As
exactly.
a promoter. He had his stint in the ring in 1979. 2nd down and 6, Giants. They lead 6-0. Sims looks into the flat throw to Sanderson. Jesse Solomon helps make the tackle short of the first down. Ed, of course, was a boxer. He took a year out of football in 1979 and had a couple of bouts. Said it was fulfilling a lifelong ambition of his. And now, when his football career is over, he wants to become a boxing promoter. Follow the lead of a lady in Houston who does that sort of thing. And he is actively looking at young men that he can help promote and sponsor.
Said he'll do it either in California or New York. He travels in the offseason looking for young, talented boxers.
3rd and 2. 5:45 to go, first half. Sims left. That's tipped, incomplete. May have been tipped behind the line. Tony Tolbert, who did take Ed Jones' spot at defensive end for a moment, made the tip.
Well, you know, one of the things Johnson told us when we asked him why all the changes in the second quarter, he said there really isn't a fall off in talent. Everyone is pretty much equal. There's Tolbert, 92, actually a big, tall, skinny kid who a lot of people compare to L.C. Greenwood and to Ed Too Tall Jones because he's tall, 6'6", lanky kid, about 240 pounds.
Denno will punt now with 5:41 to go. 6-0. Cowboy defense has played well. Nice high punt. Burbage will let this one go. And that'll be down at the 5-yard line. Greg Cox, number 38, a 46-yard punt. And again, the Cowboys are pinned deep within the shadow of their own goalpost. Punt set up a field goal. And a handoff goes to Paul Palmer, who cuts it up near the 10-yard line. Coming up next, it's the season premiere of college basketball on CBS Sports, home of the NCAA Championship. Joey Myers' DePaul Blue Demons venture to the Dean Dome to take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. That's coming up next right here on CBS. Billy Packer and James Brown will be down in North Carolina. You ever seen the Dean Dome?
No, I have never seen the Dean Dome. It's pretty nice, though, huh?
Someday I'll get you in there. It is a great basketball facility. Cost a lot, too. 2nd and 6. 6-0. Shepard in motion. Giants rotate their defense, and Darrell Johnson plunges over center out near the 10-yard line. And the clock shows 4:40 and winding down. Lawrence Taylor stays on the bench with the injury.
You know, one of the real problems that Aikman is having today is that when you're not able to move the chains or move the markers and get 6 or 7 yards on first down, you're taking yourself out of a part of your offense that's so effective against a team that is aggressive as the linebackers of the Giants, and that's play action. And right now, we have yet to see play action by Troy Aikman. Backed up like he is right now, you won't see play action for fear that if he turns his back, he'll lose sight of the coverage.
Cowboys are 1 of 5 on 3rd down so far. Burbage is the motion man. A handoff to Paul Palmer. They're now 1 out of 6. Leonard Marshall takes care of that. And so does Carl Banks. Steve Diassi, the former Cowboy, was in there.
But great running backs are great because they have an offensive line that do give them some sight, some hole, something to look at. You get behind Palmer, show me the hole. Where do you see daylight? There is none. And if you don't get movement, you can't get a hole. You can't squeeze even a small back like Palmer. He can't find any daylight.
Saxon's 3rd punt. This time he doesn't have to dodge snowballs as he did in the end zone in Philadelphia last week. Meggett waits for it at the Cowboy 46. Into a 25-mile-an-hour wind. Almost blocked again. Contact, but it's incidental, and make it with a fair catch at the 49-yard line. A 38-yard punt. Well, football for a Saturday here, and a lot of important games coming up tomorrow on CBS. NFL regional action starting with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time. And the early games include Minnesota at Cleveland, Green Bay at Chicago, and Tampa Bay at Detroit. Later on, the Redskins travel to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. That's tomorrow starting at 12:30 right here on CBS.
Important series here, Vern, for the Giants. I really believe that they have to establish some superiority here. They need to move this ball down against the Cowboys and score.
Play fake. Sims looks deep. Has a man wide open. Lee Roussan to the 11-yard line. 39 yards. And that's only his 7th catch of the year.
It's a key that's excellent job by Roussan. Well, whoops, he's just going to circle him. He's going to go down the middle. Here's the key to the outside. Now notice Baker going deep, turning Holt. Now Roussan, he is running a seam, and all Sims does is key the safeties.
Carthon out of one tackle by Lockhart into another at the 9-yard line. Danny Noonan, number 73, and Vince Albrecht. Maurice Carthon, who had 11 carries in the snow in Denver last week, a career high.
Did an excellent job. You know, the Giants, go back and finish up my point. Sims key in the safeties. If both safeties would go to the left, the back running the seam was the primary target. Now in this close, there's very little room. There's no way to clear out for someone else to get open.
Lob pass left, incomplete. As we reach the 2-minute warning intended for Lee Roussan. And Phil Sims will go over and chat with Bill Parcells. 1:58 to go in the first half. Giants threatening, but they lead by only 6. The third time in the game, they settled for 2 Nitmo field goals. They have had problems this season inside the 20-yard line. They are 25th in the league. And it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 9. 25th in the league, scoring a touchdown from inside the 20. Putbacks. Sims is hit, and they'll have to settle for an attempt for 3 again. Tony Tolbert was the first man there, and Phil may have been injured. He got banged around by the Cowboys in game 1, and he gets up limping, Terry.
Sims, notice top of your screen. Ingram coming in motion. Ingram actually had to go deep, and now Tolbert, 92, comes inside, and he gets the hit on Sims. But when Ingram came inside, Vern, he had to adjust his route because of coverage. That forced Phil Sims to hold the ball longer, allowing Tolbert there to get the hit on him.
Sims limps off, favoring an ankle that has bothered him for quite some time. Here's Nitmo, 3rd field goal, this time with the win. Bangs it home, 26 yards out. So the Swede is 3 for 3. And the Giants increase their lead to 9, but the Cowboys hang in there with a pretty tenacious defense inside the 20.
Well, their defense has played well, but the bottom line is their offense has not. The Cowboys don't have the threat with Kelvin Martin out and Irving out. It makes it very difficult for a young, strong-arm quarterback to have confidence in the other receivers. So therefore, everything we've seen the Cowboys do has been very short.
Coming up at halftime, Brandon Irv will keep you up to date on the latest news. And Leslie Visser has the story of some who play football for fun and others who haven't given up hope of making the National Football League. That's coming up at halftime, and we're 1:51 away from that point. Derek Shepard and James Dixon drift back. There's Shepard. Dixon leads the league in kickoff yardage, 25.7. He had 1 return for 97 yards and a touchdown earlier this year.
Now you're looking at Dixon there at number 86, and Shepard, when he was with the Saints, returned 1 against these Cowboys, I believe it was.
Punt return.
Yeah, punt return. So both have the ability, and we stated early in the telecast that special teams in a game like this, cold conditions, windy conditions, that special teams make the difference. And it looks like as though the special teams of the Cowboys are going to have to get something going. They're going to have to be the offense.
With the win, Nitmo, short kick on the run. Dixon at the 15. Out to the 33-yard line. And now the Cowboy offense will try and get on track. Again, Tom Landry is here. He is a guest of Wellington Mara, the owner of the Giants. They are longtime friends going back to Tom's playing days with the Giants, and this is the first game he has seen in person since he was fired last year, and he will be with us in the 3rd quarter.
I had certainly some good times against the Cowboys.
Yeah,
when I was a Steeler, we used to come down to Texas Stadium and play in all those preseason games, and to look across there and see that guy with that fancy hat on, it was pretty impressive.
He seems very relaxed. Steve Diassi is in, the former Cowboy, in defensively. And Taylor is back in the lineup now, lined up on the left. As Terry suggested he might do with effectiveness, but not much of a rush from Taylor that time.
Yeah, that play call right there told me a whole lot about this Cowboy offense, and to call a timeout makes no sense if you're going to run a play like that. There's a flag down, but you know, if you're going to run a 2-minute offense, you need to line up and get your 3 or 4 wide receivers out and put the ball down the field. But when you just do a draw, and like I said, you're sending that message out, let's get in at halftime.
Derek Shepard injured on that last play and is being helped to the bench. Terry also mentioned that there was a flag down. It turned out to be a yellow hat belonging to somebody on the bench, so it's been picked up and stuffed back on the head. Derek Shepard injured.
This is his first game back since his injury. He's had an ankle, he's had a knee, and he gets his leg caught inside Taylor's leg and twists, and it looks like it got his knee again, Vern.
So it'll be 2nd down and 7, 1:35 to go before halftime. 3 wide receivers in. Paul Palmer. That's a conservative call, wouldn't you think?
Well, now Terry Kennard of the Giants, yes, it was. Terry Kennard of the Giants calling timeout, sensing now that with the Cowboys messing around and just trying to kill the clock, the Giants have an opportunity to get the ball back. And the Cowboys have to punt against this wind, and they've already blocked one Saxon punt. They could get the ball at the 50 or the 45. 2 deep passes with Sims with the wind at his back, and the Giants be back in business.
So they've got a 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 3. Aikman, who has hit only 3 passes so far.
Well, to throw the football in this wind, against this wind, there are a lot of ways to do it. One way, obviously, is just to set up quickly and throw quick, short, crisp passes. Another thing is to get Paul Palmer involved and have him coming out of the backfield. This guy is an excellent receiver. He'll have one-on-one coverage. If he catches the ball, he will break that tackle or be beyond that guy, and he can pick up the big 1st down.
Split backs and no shotgun on 3rd and 3. 9-0 Giants lead. Play fake. Aikman rolls right. And one hops it to his tight end or his fullback, Darrell Johnson. So now the Cowboys will have to punt. And Saxon will have to do it into that stiff breeze.
Same play last week. The Cowboys ran for a touchdown against the Eagles. Aikman play action up the middle, rolling right, getting Johnston out into the flat. Last week it went for a touchdown. The Giants saw that on the film and had it well covered.
Meggett back to return Saxon punt. Keep in mind that Phil Sims limped off after the last series. See if he comes back in. And Pepper Johnson just went over to the bench and sought medical attention. Saxon, good effort in the circumstances. And it takes a Cowboy roll down inside the 25-yard line where it is down. 35-yard punt for Mike Saxon. 1:12 to go before halftime, and Phil Sims will give it a go. He's really been bothered by that ankle, though.
Well, he has, and the thing about it's his right ankle. And as a quarterback, when you push off to throw the football, you push off with your right leg. Well, that ankle is carrying all that weight. And Sims has got a bad ankle. He's had it hurt now for about 4 or 5 weeks, and he can't push off and drill the football the way he wants to. He has been throwing the last 3 weeks with his arm and his arm only. He has not been using his legs to drive the football.
1st and 10, Giants, 1:12 to go. Giants have 1 timeout left. Sims deep right side, incomplete.
Anytime a pass sails high, it's because the quarterback does not stride with his left leg. He keeps his feet close together. The ball goes high. If you overstride, the ball goes slow. This pass was high. Let's see if Sims does give in to his right ankle. Look at his right leg. Feet are close together. There's the hop. But notice that he does not stride with the left leg. He stands tall. That makes the ball sail on him.
2nd and 10, 1:06 to go. Handoff. Meggett hit behind the line by Hamill twice and then knocked down. And Bill Bates reaches over and slaps his teammate on the head.
Now, this is a byproduct of the injury that Sims has. I think Parcells and Earhart sense that Sims' ankle is bothering him, and rather than risk an interception and put the Cowboys back in the game, they're going to go ahead and run the ball, kill the clock, and go in and check Phil out.
Keep in mind the Giants are in the playoffs if they win. They're tied with the Philadelphia Eagles, 10-4 record. Out of the shotgun, Four-man rush for Dallas. That pass short of the first down at the 33. Lionel Manuel makes the grab. And with 22 seconds to go.
Fourth down. Sims is still on the field wanting to go for it.
That's kind of interesting if they don't make it.
They run on third down. They run on the second down. Throw on third. Now they're short. Now it's fourth down.
And the Cowboys were a little late calling timeout. Ray Horton hurried up and said, hey, we'd like to get one more shot at it. Sims, I think, was just trying to see what Dallas would do. And
I don't think so.
No?
I think
he's going to go for it?
Knowing Phil Sims, I have to believe, last week against the Broncos, these Giants on their own 39 attempted a punt, but Reeson took the snap and got the first down on fourth down. So that it's possible that the special teams have another little gimmick up their sleeve, but I believe Sims was checking it out, and by staying on the field, Vern, he's saying to Parcells, hey, look at me, I'm out here, what do you think? Let's go for it. He's sending that little message to him.
Well, here he comes back, fourth down.
I like this. This is interesting. This is a football team that needs one win to get into the tournament as far.
Back. 3 field goals by the Giants. Each of the 3 times they've gotten inside the 20 have given them a 9-0 lead. The Cowboys have had problems on offense. They haven't been close to scoring so far, so it's 9-0 at the half. But if you're a Giant fan and if you're a Giant coach, the most significant thing perhaps is an apparent re-injury to Lawrence Taylor. He favored that hairline fracture on his right leg. He had to leave for a play or two, and here's when it happened in the first half of play, as Lawrence Taylor, who missed last week's game, was injured, the hairline fracture of his leg, and here's the way it happened.
Yeah, you notice he's lined up to the right, left of your screen, but he's lined up to his right outside, which is the side that his ankle is, the right ankle. Notice he's hobbling. He had to push to get back to the left. He has to push off his right ankle, and he's given to it. Looks like it's injured.
Terry, you suggested they ought to put him on the left side. They did. What advantage does that give him if you can show us when he pushes off?
Normally they want Lawrence on the side away from the tight end, but if he's on the right side, he's pushing with the broken ankle, and it gives, and he's not as effective. He's certainly not as strong. But if he's on the left side, now when he comes in and pushes to quarterback, he pushes with the good ankle, and he has the strength to push off and make the tackle or the sack.
The other injury was Phil Sims, who's been playing with an injured ankle for much of the year. Now, what happens to him with this re-injury to Phil Sims?
Well, you're going to notice that Sims will get hit. He has a bad right ankle also. He sets up. Notice he's not exactly coming back. Notice the shoe is also taped, setting inside, and then, boy, he just gets laid, just gets hammered there. Okay, now, so what happens? Notice the play earlier. When you have a bad right ankle as a quarterback and you go to push off, you push off with your right leg, and that gives you the strength to drive the football. But if you have a bad right ankle, you can't push off, and tendency is to stand straight up, and when you do that, you throw with your arm, and you don't drive with your leg, and the ball sails and goes high. If you normally throw good, you take a big stride, and that puts the ball right where you want it.
With the wind, here's the kick by Zendejas, and it'll be a touchback and come out to the 20-yard line. Phil Sims comes back on the field, favoring that injured ankle. Cowboys yards per attempt for Aikman 1.7, for Sims 7.9. Giants had the ball for much of the first half, and the total yardage only 53 for the Dallas Cowboys, 153 for the Giants. First and 10 from the 20. Otis Anderson squirts through at left guard and picks up a yard before Dean Hamill makes the tackle.
Maurice Carthan, number 44, leading in. Actually, that's a play that a lot of teams use at the goal line, where they'll take another tight end and put him in motion instead of a running back, because the tight end, much larger, bigger body, going up inside, and then put Anderson in his hip pocket and have him go off the block. But that time Carthan went in motion, came inside. Anderson got in behind him for half a yard.
Officially no gain. It'll be second down and 10. Giants going into the wind. Sims back across the middle, tipped and incomplete. Intended for Anderson, and Gene Lockhart was defending it. It'll be third and 10.
Yeah, if you're going to throw the ball to a tight end or a back coming across the middle. They must have depth. They must be at least 8 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and therefore that will allow Sims enough room to drop it over the lineman's head and drop it down into the lap of the receiver. If the running back is too close to the line of scrimmage, that forces the quarterback to throw the ball high, almost intercepted.
3rd and 10. 8-man front for the Cowboys defensively. Sims in trouble, sacked. Down to the 15. Dean Hamill got him. And that is the 2nd sack of the day for a Cowboy unit that doesn't have that many. Only 23 coming in, and Sims is still down.
Stunts by the line. Hamill to the inside, coming to the outside. Now he matches up with Noonan, and then he sees Sims. He picks up Sims. Hamill does, comes off of his block and makes the sack.
Bill favors that ankle as he trots to the sideline. And now Landeta will kick it into the wind. Burbage waits at the Giant 45-yard line. That's a heck of a punt into this breeze. A heck of a punt. And it takes a lateral bounce before stopping at the 46-yard line.
Like a good 9-iron. When that ball hit, that thing didn't move a bit. That wind held it up, and that ball set right on this frozen turf and did not move 1 foot.
Cowboys go on offense, and they've had only 53 yards so far at their own 46. Giants defensively, good play by the defensive line. 42% of the tackles today have been coming from that front three.
Normally the defensive line in a 3-4, they're there to hold things up and free up the linebackers, but today the defensive line, just 3 of them, doing a heck of a job.
1st and 10, Dallas. Aikman under Stepnoski. 2 deep zone by the Giants. Aikman looks and fires, tipped away, almost picked off. Steve DiOssi, the former Dallas Cowboy who got crossways with Jimmy Johnson and Dave Onstead early.
The longer you hold the ball as a passer in zone coverages, the deeper the linebackers get. It's just natural. Aikman holding the ball, trying to get someone, waiting for them to come open, and now DiOssi just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper until eventually he's 20 yards deep right there to make the interception.
Steve told us day before yesterday he was trying to be kind in reacting to the trade to the Giants, but he just didn't buy into Johnson's program. That's the way he phrased it. 2nd down and 10. Aikman settles short, finds Paul Palmer, who fumbles the ball, and the Cowboys, well, there's a scramble. Who got it?
They're going to say he's down, Vern.
The ball was dead. And the Cowboys will maintain possession.
It's too cold to get fancy. You got to put the ball away and make one move and go with it. You can't juke. Palmer, we said earlier, wants to get involved with the passing. There he's involved. Too many moves. The ball comes loose before he hits the ground. Hey, that's a fumble. The ball comes loose before he hits the ground. That's a fumble.
Are they looking at replay? No, they are not. There may have been a whistle because the replay is not holding it up. 3rd down. Darrell Johnson, the long set back. Blitz coming. Aikman in trouble. Carl Banks.
Taylor. Banks. Taylor coming to the outside. Well, on the right side. The bad ankle side. Went inside. Must have got a little medicine for it. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job there. Doesn't seem to have any ill effects whatsoever from the first half.
Saxon's 5th punt. Make it back at the 10-yard line. Respecting the win. Saxon has had 1 block. That by Dwayne Giles. That will field goal. Tom Rafferty, the long-time center, looks back, making sure everything is set. Rafferty now back up to Stepnoski.
All out punt rush, the Cowboys think.
Fake, forget it.
Took too long.
Gave it away.
Gave it, exactly. It took too long. It gave it away. All of a sudden, the Giants are thinking, hey, this something's fancy here. Rafferty's making all these calls. People start pointing, and then all of a sudden, the Giants say, hey, this is a gadget. Watch for the fake punt.
Terry Bradshaw said at the stop of the show, special teams would be important today. The ball game as the Cowboys try the fake punt. The Giants stop it, and they've got a first down. Phil Simms hobbled by the bad ankle. Giants up at the 43-yard line. And Emmanuel starts in motion. Simms hands it off at the middle. Otis Anderson plunging down inside the 35 near the 33-yard line. That's close for a first down. Well, it is a very special pleasure to welcome to our booth now the longtime head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Tom Landry. Tom, watching the first game since you left the Cowboys, what emotions did you have in the first half of the ball game?
Well, Vern, I really didn't have too much emotion since the Giants and the Cowboys are my two teams that I've been with all through my career, and so I was just kind of there's so many changes in the Giants. I mean, in the Cowboys now that it's really hard for me to really identify with them, but I'm enjoying the game very much.
We'll get back to the conversation in a moment. The Giants have a first down and 10 for 34. And Anderson gets the handoff. The Cowboys' Dean Hamill makes the stop at the 30.
You said, Coach, that you have so many friends. You played for the Giants, coached the Cowboys. But if that's the case, then which way would you be leaning? Are you pulling since you're sitting in Willington Mara's box?
You know, I'm always pulling for Dallas because I'm always going to be a Dallas Cowboy, obviously. But, you know, it means so much to the Giants to win this one and go on into the playoffs that you kind of have to be a little sympathetic with them.
The second down now for the Giants. Second down and 7. New York is up by a count of 9-0. And we're early in the third quarter. Simms, handoff, reverse. Mark Ingram. Jeffcoat read it, but got blocked by Simms. And now the knockdown at the 29-yard line. That'll bring up a third down. Tom, I remember so many road trips when I was doing the Cowboys radio broadcast. When they would come and play in New York, you always made it a point to have dinner with Wellington Mara and his family. I would assume you had dinner with them again this time, or do you have a chance?
Well, we didn't this time because we were kind of busy. We came in here on business, really. And you know, I'm going to write a book.
I think we ought to mention that. Yep.
I didn't think I'd ever write a book, but this is the first one I'm ever going to write and probably my last one for sure. But we hope to get it out by August. You know, Terry writes such good burps, you know.
Coach, do you have a copy of my book?
I do. I really do. At least you sold one.
Third down. Pass right side, and that'll be close for the first down as
I believe he has it, Bernie, stretched out the very last. Robinson stretched the ball out, and when you stretch it out, before you hit the ground, that's where they'll mark it.
Ray Horton is arguing with it. Let's see.
Okay.
See if he got the first down. There's the spot inside the 25. And they're going to have to bring the chain all the way, if they bring the chain, from the far side. Fourth down.
Coach, have you given any thought to this business, this line of work?
No, I really haven't, Terry. It seems interesting. But,
okay, Tom, your turn to call it. 4th and 1.
Okay.
Where do you go?
4th and 1. You better run.
They did.
There you go.
Carthen.
Yeah.
Now let's check the spot and see if he got the first down.
Lockhart obviously saying no and Simms saying yes.
Check the first down now, and they'll bring the chain out. Giants, of course, with a victory today, can go into the playoffs. And they are currently tied. They will, let's see, bring the chain out? Yes.
Well, the Giants are having a real conservative game plan today. It's one of those dangerous ones, you know, because the Cowboys score is going to really make a difference.
And having coached here for so many years, Coach, this win does have an effect on an offense, doesn't it?
Terrible down this end, especially. This is where it's really difficult.
Here's the stretch.
Didn't make it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yes.
Got it by that much. Tom, we're going to let you go back and enjoy the rest of the game, but I do want to ask you, I mean, it must be very difficult for you in a sense to look down at the Cowboy bench where you stood so many years and see Jimmy Johnson down there.
Well, yes, it's a little difficult to do that, but, you know, time passed. I had a great career, and so I can't complain at all.
You look terrific. I know you're enjoying as best you can these years.
I feel great. Good to see you guys.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck with your book.
One author to another.
I'll certainly buy his book since I know he bought mine. At least that's what he said.
Wait till Tom finds out about the book tours.
Oh.
He's going to be great on Oprah's show. First down.
What kind of money times good for his book. I imagine he won't mind it.
Giants lead at 9-0, 8:30 to go. Sims hands it off up the middle. Flags are down. Otis Anderson is as well.
How many times do you see this in the National Football League, especially with a veteran football team, with a veteran quarterback who will change a cadence? He will get out of his normal cadence, go longer with his cadence, and then the defense jumps off sides. They're used to one way of him calling the signals, and then he changes them up. It catches them. Watch the defensive line of the Cowboys.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Will still be first down.
That little head movement by Sims that time helped a little bit. Normally you can't do that, but when he gave that little head nod that time, the Cowboys responded by jumping off sides.
Go back to the first half and the documentation of the Giants' problems inside the 20. 25th in the league in scoring touchdowns inside the 20. This is the 4th time they've been inside the 20 in the ball game, and they've settled previously for 3 field goals. 1st and 5. To the 14-yard line. The tackle made by Willie Broughton.
Up the middle, the Giants are attacking. The tackles of the Cowboys are going up the middle, and what is happening is that the 2 tackles, Hamill and Broughton, are going to the outside, and when they go to the outside, the middle linebacker has to feel up the middle, and what they're now finding out is that they can take their big lineman and linebacker and give a seam to their back to run with the football.
2nd and 1. 7:28 to go, 3rd quarter. Giants lead 9-0. A victory, and they're in the playoffs. Eagles looking on. They go down to New Orleans on Monday night. Ingram in motion. Anderson goes left. Searches for enough for the first down and may have found it.
See, this weather and this wind at this part of this stadium really forces an offense into a very limited role. There's very little things. There are very few things that Sims can do. He can't throw the fade because that's a loft route, and the pass might end up in the cheap seats. It's very hard to do play action. He turns his back, and they blitz. He gets sacked. It's very hard for him to use all his offense in this area.
If you ever wondered how much is in a roll, you just got shown. That thing stretched forever. Third and 1. Anderson. That's a first down. Look at him struggle. It'll be 1st and goal, New York. Giants, by the way, in the 30-year history of this rivalry, have never won 4 in a row from the Cowboys. They've won 3 in a row prior to today. Bill Parcells' bunch, 30-13 in the first game down in Dallas. And now 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Parcells, who said, we're not as good as we were in October, in large part because of injuries. Toss. Anderson goes by Danny Noonan and then is spilled back near the line of scrimmage. Ken Norton makes the tackle.
Great job by Noonan. That play designed to go to the outside with Rousson 22, the tight end, and a flex on that side. Everything showed that time the Giants wanted to go wide to the right, but Noonan, playing that left defensive end, got upside, knocked everything off, and forced Anderson that time to cut back inside. Anderson, early in his career, excellent at cutting back, but now not a cutback runner, a power runner.
Anderson and Carthen in the backfield now on 2nd down. Sims throwing the ball, modest numbers, 8 of 18 for 134 yards. Anderson to the 3-yard line. Nice run. Willie Broughton makes the tackle.
You know, one of the real teaching tools of coaches is that if you're going to tackle a great back, I mean, this is old stuff here, but if you're going to tackle him, don't tackle him high. If you tackle him and grab, oh, look at Broughton, number 79. He's got him high. And what happens? Anderson, with those huge, powerful thighs, just turns his back, leans into Broughton, and just drives him all the way down to about the 3.5-yard line.
Cowboys have been susceptible to fade routes in this circumstance. You think Sims might throw the ball here?
I don't think so. I think Sims wants to continue running the ball ball and let his line, which has done an excellent job of drive blocking, continue to do that.
That's what he's going to do. And he's going to be stopped short, so they'll have to settle for a Nitmo field goal again.
Yeah, I really believe the fade route, which is something. This is what I was talking about earlier. Your offense is so restricted because of the weather conditions and the footing that it's very important that you stay with what's working. The running game is working. Sims stayed with it. Whether Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator of the Giants.
They're going to go for it on 4th and goal.
Now,
no field goal.
if you go for it on 4th and goal, this is where I would say this is a great chance. Sims cannot run. Sims has a bad leg. So if you're going to run down here, then you're going to run those little picks, a little play action, cross everyone, and try to get your back. But that's the conditions. Once again, running has been the key.
They're going to take the delay call, I believe. No, timeout. The clock got down to 1 second on the 45-second clock, and then Phil Sims called time. So time has been called. It's 4th and goal at the 2, and we'll see what the Giants have in mind in a moment.
We would like
The Giants have had the ball for 11 plays, 8 minutes. They've gone all of 40 yards. They have 4th and goal at the 2. They break the huddle quickly. Cowboys get set, double tight end. That's Ingram in motion. And Sims, the KG quarterback, may have drawn Dallas offside.
He did. He went on. Sims went on the long count once again. Watch his head.
Defense, number 60, penalized half the distance, 4th down.
See the nod of the head by Phil Sims?
Right. Smart call. Smart call. The play they had called, I don't have any idea what it was, but Sims now is in a position now that the running game is really the play to run now. No play action here. Now he got that half the distance to the goal line. Now it's just a case of whether the tackles for the Cowboys go down inside. If they do, the Cowboys will go over top. I mean, the Giants over top. If they go out, they'll go straight up the middle.
Riesenberg has pointed out an eligible receiver. Roberts on the right side. 4th and goal from the 1. Handoff, Anderson, touchdown! That's his 12th of the year on the ground.
A read by Anderson getting on Carthen's hip. Carthen got into that time Ken Norton. He got the shoulder block on him. Anderson read it, popped to the outside, walked into the end zone.
Nitmo for the extra point. He's knuckled 2 field goals through down there. It's blocked. Jim Jeffcoat, who twice in his career has returned intercepted passes for touchdowns against the Giants, blocks the extra point. Back with the kickoff in a moment. Green on this blustery December afternoon, one of the more ardent football fans in America, former president of the United States, Richard Nixon, who was out here in the wind enjoying the day. No private box for him, huh?
No private box.
I like that.
Nobody protecting him, just out here
enjoying the game. Here's the kick. Dixon to the 30, 35, maybe. $16 yards on the return and a flag down. And it's going to be against the Giants, apparently. Here's Dick Hantak.
Offside, number 47 on the kickoff, penalized 5 yards. We will re-kick.
Greg Jackson. Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown run by Otis Anderson and watch the fine block he got, Jerry, by Maurice Carthen.
Well, the key was the offensive line allowed no penetration. Therefore, the block by Carthen became the most important block. Notice no penetration, so Carthen has the freedom to go outside. He gets into Norton. He holds him up, and then Anderson just bounces off to the outside. No support out there. Easy touchdown.
Extra point was blocked by Jeff Goat now after the 5-yard penalty. Nitmo will kick off from the 30-yard line. Time of possession more than double in New York's favor. Nitmo will kick it deep. Squib kick. Dixon at the 30. And he got the 5 yards additional, but the penalty cost him, so he's out to the 42-yard line. Lewis Tillman makes the tackle. 14 on the return this time. And the Cowboy offense comes out looking for its first point of the game. They've been shut out twice this year. They were shut out 28-0 the season opener. They were shut out on Thanksgiving Day by Philadelphia 27-0. 2 times this year in the previous 29 years of the Cowboy history, they have been shut out just 3 times. So they have had problems scoring in 1989. First and 10, Dallas. Aikman 4 of 13. Right side. Caught by Keith Jennings, the rookie tight end. That's his second catch. And he's out of bounds at the 46. Coming up next, it's the season premiere of college basketball on CBS, the home of the NCAA championship. Joey Myers' DePaul Blue Demons venture to the Dean Dome to take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. That's coming up next, right here on CBS. Out to the 46-yard line. It'll be second down. There's that roll of paper has been flying all over that end of the stadium. Double tight end set now. Steve Folsom back in the lineup. Play fake. Aikman, Bernard Ford. And that's a first down for the Cowboys after Perry Williams makes the tackle. Bernard Ford, reputed to have 4.35 second speed in the 40-yard line, but he was caught from behind last week after a blocked kick. He picked it up, and Jesse Small of the Eagles ran him down from behind, Terry, and Jimmy Johnson's renamed him.
He's renamed and calls it 4-6 Ford, 4-6 for the 40-yard dash now. Now all week long, he had to put up with the fact that he is supposedly able to run a 4-3, but Johnson said it looked like a 4-6 to me, so they've nicknamed him 4-6.
First and 10 at the 46. Aikman back. Taylor trying to come. Taylor came. Aikman dodges him. What a run by Aikman. And then he's down after a 3-yard gain at the 43.
Excellent moves by Aikman. 2-minute offense. They're now running the 2-minute offense.
Cowboys going without a huddle, and they're back at the line of scrimmage. Right side. Folsom at the 40.
Great hands by Folsom, using the tight ends now. And all Aikman is doing is calling double patterns. Pattern to the right side is the same one to the left side. He's just reading the coverage and going away from the strength of the coverage.
3rd and 4. With time, left side, wide open, Tartalatossi. First down, inside the 20, nifty move to the 17-yard line. Mark Collins with the tackle.
Gave Collins the move as if he were going, Talatossi as if he was going outside, showed that area, then moved back inside of Collins and picked up another 6 yards. But Aikman with the 2-minute offense, or the hurry-up offense, if you will, just going up, calling the plays at the line of scrimmage, and then getting up, reading the coverage, and doing a good job of getting the ball to the people that are open.
From the 17, it's 15-0 Cowboys. Giants instead of the Cowboys. There's a toss down inside the goal line. First and goal, Dallas. Cornell Burbage with the catch. 15-0 Giants leading, not Dallas. Terry?
Now you're looking at the hurry-up offense inside the 5-yard line, but the problem is to run in here, you have to bring in your goal line offense. So Aikman's going to be forced to call a timeout. It looks like a big mess up. And when you have a young quarterback, he's running one offense, and when a team calls for the goal line, they can't do that to him. They put him in a bad position, forced him that time to call the timeout.
Streamer is blowing. The Cowboys have the win at their back for another 18 seconds. They have a first and goal at the 2-yard line, trailing 15-0. Back split, double tight end set, strength to the left. That's Jennings, the tight end, in motion. Play fake. Aikman Deep for Folsom, incomplete. Flag is down. It'll be first and goal. Gary Reasons, I believe, is going to be flagged. Here's the call.
Pass interference. Defense, number 55. We will penalize half the distance to the goal. First down.
A play action fools no one at the goal line. Reason just absolutely turns his back, runs with his coverage, which is Folsom, and then puts the left arm on Folsom's hip before the ball arrives. You can't touch a receiver.
Picky.
The Cowboys are using this hurry-up offense not because they're trying to fool the Giants. They're just trying to get as many passing plays in this drive as they can before the quarter ends, and they have to start throwing against the wind.
Really picky.
Brutal little. I bet his hips bruised this thing.
Yeah, he really slapped him, didn't he? First and goal. High formation this time.
Over the top.
Palmer the deep back. Goes right. Jailed by Pepper Johnson.
Wrong guy to be running up the middle. This is an area for Johnston, the big fullback. This is an area where you don't have time to make moves. You either go up over the top, you turn around and give it to the big power back and let him move the pile. Bad call.
Boo-Boo only weighs $180 and change. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. 15-0. Giants. We now pause for a word from your local station. Johnson is stopped on second and goal. It'll be third and goal. Darrell Johnston, the rookie from Syracuse.
Well, there's the power back I was talking about, but there. You tried Palmer, he didn't get it. You tried Johnston, he didn't get it. This is the bad end. This is where the wind's blowing. If you do play action and get outside, the option would be for Aikman, who is the leading rusher over the last 4 games. He would have the option to run it or to throw it. But at this period, I would think this is the chance once again. Palmer's in. Give him the ball.
Third and goal. Play fake. Nobody open. Aikman drills it. That is, yes, it is a touchdown. Oh, a delayed call. And Folsom is given credit for 6.
The ball has to break the plane. The player doesn't. The ball does. If the ball is caught and the receiver sticks it across the goal line, it is a touchdown. Aikman with a lot of pressure. Play action. Finds Folsom. Excellent job, Kennard, from getting Folsom not get in. But then the reach by Folsom on the fumble. I don't know. Man, I don't know. I can't tell from that, but it looks to me, Vern. All right, let's look. Folsom, knee down, knee down. Call it back. Call it back and put the ball on the 1-yard line. That's not a touchdown. Did not break the plane. The knee was down. Should not be a touchdown. They should call this play back.
No indication that they're looking at it yet.
Yeah, see, it's the very simple. Here's the rule. You make the reception, and then the ball breaks the plane before you go down. It's a touchdown.
Now they're looking at it. Replay official is looking at it.
All right, there's the catch. There's the knee. The ball has not crossed the goal line. Therefore, that ball should be spotted about a foot away from the goal line.
Bill Swanson is the replay official. Don Carlson is the head linesman who made the touchdown signal.
If you're going to do play action, why do play action drop back? Why not do play action with the option to run and pass? Why play action and drop straight back? You got a young, strong kid that can run with it. Get him outside for play action.
Pepper Johnson urging the crowd on. And we wait. Bill Swanson up in the replay booth. Folsom is the man who tried to lean but had that knee down about the 1.5-yard line. And it was the line judge, Don Carlson, who signaled touchdown. Here it is again.
There's the catch. Oh, once again, folks, you have to make a legal catch. That is a legal catch. Now, once you're caught, is your momentum stopped prior to the ball crossing the plane, the goal line? Yes. Folsom's right knee hit the ground prior to his extending the ball out over the plane. The ball should be brought back.
We have a reversal. The runner's knee was down. The ball is to be placed on the 1-yard line. 4th down.
So the Cowboys will have a 4th and goal from the 6-inch line.
You want a touchdown? I'll give you one.
All right.
Quarterback sneak over the top, hold the ball out, extend it, Aikman, and you got a touchdown. All he has to do is lunge with the ball in his hands over top and extend it beyond the goal, the plane. He'll have a touchdown.
They give it to Palmer.
Bad call.
What a bad call. You got a tiny running back weighing 180 pounds. They try a sweep to the left, and Carl Banks says, "Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you." ...181 yards for the New York Giants, 104 for the Dallas Cowboys. If it was 105, they'd have a touchdown right now. Bill Sims, 9 of 19 for 139. That's kind of indicative of the conservative nature of the offenses of both teams in these conditions. And Nitmo with 3 field goals, 15-0 right now. And I know, Terry, that you really disagreed with the play selection on 4th and goal.
It made no sense. You played into the strength of the Giants. Their speed and their strength is with their linebackers, their pursuit. You can't run the ball from a deep eye and go out wide at the goal. It just doesn't work, and that's just a terrible call.
Handoff up the middle. Otis Anderson out to the 11-yard line. And, of course, the 4th down call was made after a touchdown had been taken away. And a really good example of the proper use of replay by Bill Swanson. If there is indisputable visual evidence that a mistake has been made, reverse the call. He did, and it only took him 2.5 minutes. Jimmy Johnson looks on. His team still scoreless, 15-0.
He has to be, Johnson has to be going crazy wondering what in the world's going on. Especially has to question that 4th down call. Has to.
From the 11, 2nd down. Anderson stacked up at the 13-yard line. Tackle made by Vince Albritton. Well, football today and tomorrow on CBS. NFL regional action starting with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time. Early games will include Minnesota at Cleveland, Green Bay at Chicago, and Tampa at Detroit. Later on, the Redskins travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. That's tomorrow starting at 12:30 here on CBS.
You know, this is it. This is the 4th quarter now, and Johnson has now brought in the 7 new people once again, giving a lot of people a different look. And one of those, you got Francis over at corner and Manny Hendricks, guys he wants to see cover people, see how they do.
First down, Maurice Carthen. There's Ron Francis and Ray Horton. Jesse Solomon made the tackle.
What Parcells would like now is just to go ahead and be able to drive this ball, Vernon, eat the clock up and protect Sims, hope that Sims does have to get back and throw the football, kind of call the shots now. And if he can do that and walk away here with another touchdown, we'll probably see another quarterback come in. Sims with a bad ankle, and right now we're just going to see ball control, ball control. Win now is at the back of the Giants.
They're up by 15. If they win today, they're in the playoffs. The Eagles, with whom they are tied, play at New Orleans on Monday night. Both teams with 10-4 records, and of course Philadelphia, having defeated New York twice, has a tiebreaker advantage. Anderson tiptoes, comes loose. Left side, Ray Horton makes the tackle at the 42-yard line.
I said earlier that one thing Anderson doesn't do in this stage of his career is cut back. He's too big. He's played too long. Look at Lockhart going to the outside. He's reading Anderson. He says, I've got him now. Anderson reads Lockhart, cuts against the grain, something I said he couldn't do. And I say, okay, I'm wrong. You're right. Great job by Otis Anderson.
Lewis Tillman checks in. That's a gain of 18 yards for Anderson. who now has 78 yards on 21 carries, trying to get 1,000 for the season. A game and a quarter left. Ingram in motion, 15-0. Tillman.
Lockhart.
Gene Lockhart with another tackle.
Lockhart told us he loves the play of the 4-3 because this Johnson 4-3 is an aggressive, attacking 4-3. The middle linebacker just simply reads, looks through the backfield, and goes to the football. Unlike the flex, where he read and took an area, this time he reads and goes to the football.
Clock winding down now. 10 minutes and 22 seconds to go. Too Tall Jones on the sideline. This may or may not be his final season with Dallas. He said he doesn't know if a rebuilding team wants the luxury of having him back. Here's Tillman going around the right side. And down at the 49-yard line. Just another thought on Too Tall, Terry, is the class with which he has handled his backup status now. Jimmy Johnson talked about it, and what a dignified man he is.
He just said that he understands it. He said, I understand my role with the Cowboys. I understand that if you're going to rebuild, he said, I don't necessarily want to be a part of a rebuilding team. I'm too old, and understands it and accepts it.
Back in 1974, he was the #1 draft choice of the Cowboys. The next year in 75, Dallas drafted a fellow by the name of Ed Jones from Rutgers. He was a defensive back. Needless to say, they nicknamed him Too Small. So for 4 games in preseason in 75, you had Too Tall and Too Small playing. Unfortunately, Too Small wasn't too good. Never made the roster.
That's too bad. It would have been nice to have him out there.
3rd and 2.
Oh, man.
That may be a...
Abbott Costello here.
Yeah, right. That may be a first down at the 47.
Giants, once again, just playing Parcells football. You know, one of the things you try to do, Giants look like, obviously, they're going to make the playoffs, and one of the things you look for is that edge. Who's on top of their game? And it's so hard to really judge on offense in this type of weather. You don't know if Sims is really going to have a great passing day when he gets to warm. You really don't know a lot about your passing attack, but you judge championships by defense and great offensive line play to run the football. And today, you got to say the offensive line and the defense of the Giants are ready to go.
Hand off to Otis Anderson. Goes right down to the 42-yard line. Gene Lockhart with another tackle at that middle linebacker spot, and the clock down to 8:09 and rolling. Jesse Solomon gets a hand up. With the wind behind them, the Cowboys trying to cinch a playoff spot. 20 rushes in the second half and 2 passes. Giants, I beg your pardon. Things are flying around up here in the booth. At least they're not snowballs.
Not snowballs. That's what I was. At least you're not ducking snowballs.
2nd and 6. Fumble. How about that for a fortuitous bounce? Right back into the hands of Anderson. And Jack Del Rio makes the tackle.
Once again, this is a great block, a great lead block by Maurice Carthen, 44, coming inside, and all Anderson does is get on his hip and go off of his block. If Carthen kicks in, then Anderson goes out. If Carthen kicks out, then Anderson goes in. It's that simple. Beautiful job of blocking by Maurice Carthen.
3rd down. Anderson with 90 yards.
If Bavaro were playing today, it would be an ideal situation for Sims to throw the ball to his tight end. He loves to throw to his tight end in this situation.
This time he'll hand it off to Anderson, who is stuffed.
Oh, Danny Noonan. Beautiful job by Noonan.
And that'll bring up 4th down.
Great job by this guy. Moved from tackle back out to end once again because of the weight, because he's quicker now, and they feel like Johnson does that he really is suited now for defensive end. Coming off his block, penetrating, and doing a great job of making the stop.
Sean Landeta comes out, and Cornell Burbage heads back at the 15-yard line. He'll go a little bit farther back to return the punt.
It'll be interesting to see what Landeta does. Will he do the punt, the pooch kick, or if he tries to kick it out of bounds. If he tries to angle it out of bounds, normally a right-footed kicker will kick to his left. He won't kick to his right for fear that if he eases up, he will shank the ball and knock it out of bounds and give the Cowboys good field goal position. Good field position.
Giants will take a delay of game call, which doesn't hurt them at all. It'll cost them 5 yards. And here's Dick Cantat.
Delay, offense, number 5, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, he looked in his contract and he says if I average 43 yards a punt a game, I get a bonus check, so I'll take the penalty, back me up in the end zone.
Well, you know what he does do? Sean Landeta leads the league in net punt average, which is 38 yards plus. That's outstanding. And that's really a greater barometer of the effectiveness of your punting game than anything else. Kind of a pooch kick, and
not a good pooch kick.
Nope. Won't be proud of that one. Burbage with a fair catch, a 28-yard punt. Cowboys get it back with only 5:37 to go in the game. 5:37 remaining between the Giants and the playoff spot. They lead it by a 15-0 count over the Cowboys. Dallas had a touchdown awarded on their last possession, but reversed by the instant replay official. And then they were tackled for a loss on 4th and goal from the 1. So the Cowboys close to their 3rd shutout of 1989. 1st down and 10. Aikman, Cardinal Tossi, and Steve DiOssi throws him down like a calf.
Aikman is using his hands to direct the offense. As a rookie quarterback, I have never seen a rookie quarterback do everything with a check with me at the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw again, settles for the short man. Almost picked off by Carl Banks. It surprised him and hit him right in the shoulder pad.
It did, but the point is Aikman, a rookie with a rookie center, 5 offensive starters that are rookies, and he's up there calling all the plays at the line of scrimmage, and that really says a lot. Number one, this kid obviously is very smart, football-wise, very smart. Also, when he bumps his hands together, he is calling the coverage for his receivers, telling them which one is the hot man. So he's doing all of that with his hands. You know, they had that problem with the timeout. They've changed that and gone to bumping the palms, bumping the fist.
That problem with the timeout came against the Rams 2 weeks ago when a signal for a formation was mistaken as a timeout signal. Here's Aikman, and Burbage wasn't looking for the ball at all. Not at all. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, the hurry-up offense by the Cowboys kind of backfired. All it did was hurry up and get them off the field. The word. You never know. Parcells has always given you the con game. We're not that good. We don't run the ball that well. We're not as good now as we were earlier in the year. And we sit there, and I think he thinks we believe it, but I don't think you and I do.
Carthen.
1st down.
Now let's see if Parcells gets the spot he wants here.
You know, he talks about his kitchen cabinet at home and how he has to go home to his wife and his daughters and listen to how bad he coached or how poor his decisions were. And this guy's really a mess. I mean, you get him off of football for just a little bit, and he's quite a comedian.
Well, one of the ironies of his family life, of course, is that one of his daughters is named Dallas. Bill said he's taking care of the Christmas gifts for the girls, but he hasn't taken care of the boss yet. That's coming. He'll feel a lot more in a mood to do that if they win today. 1st and 10. 15-0. 2.5 to go. Lewis Tillman goes right. Down from the 35-yard line. Coming up tomorrow on CBS, NFL regional action starting with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern. Early games will include Minnesota at Cleveland, Green Bay at Chicago, and Tampa Bay at Detroit. Later, it's the Redskins traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. That's tomorrow, starting at 12:30 right here on CBS. 2-minute warning. The New York Giants are 2 minutes away from the playoffs. They haven't been there in a couple of years. Lead. I'm just trying to figure where that fella in the middle lives. 2 minutes to go in the ball game, and it's a 5th, but he's warmer than a lot of folks here. Bill Parcells' team very conservative in the second half. They've kept it on the ground with a 9-0 halftime lead. Bill Sims has thrown the ball only twice in this half. And it's a second down right now. The Cowboys can stop the clock only twice more with timeouts. First and 10 on the 36. Tillman goes left. Emerson Walls with the tackle at the 16-yard line. That's a gain of 19 yards.
Another cutback run. You know what's happening, Vern, is when the Giants go to the right side and that middle linebacker, Lockhart, he keys in on that back. He steps out of position. They're doing such an excellent job with Eric Moore back to the back side that it's allowing the cutback, and Tillman's getting big yardage.
1:25 to go. And off to Tillman again. And he's down at the 16-yard line. No gain on that play. Remember, after basketball coming up tonight on CBS, it's the Hallmark Hall of Fame. The Secret Garden, holiday viewing for the entire family. And then it's Saturday night with Connie Chung. That's tonight on CBS. Unusual to do a Saturday game, right? My wife Nancy got up this morning and went to the television set to turn on Sunday Morning with Charles Kuralt, her favorite program. Wasn't there. Cartoons. It's a little disconcerting. Second down and 10. And the ball is down at the 16-yard line. DePaul, North Carolina coming up next. The New York Giants, a team noted for its defense, get their first shutout since 1985 this afternoon. Last time they shut out a team, Philadelphia, 21-0 in 85 on September 5th. And Bill Parcells' team is in the playoffs, and Ed Too Tall Jones didn't play a lot today. May have only one more game left for the Cowboys, and if that's the case, he said he's keeping all of his options open. He doesn't know whether he's going to retire or perhaps go on to another team. Might come back. Don't forget, coming up next, the post-game show with scores and highlights. Herb and Brent back in our studios across the Hudson, and Terry and I will be right here. Giants in their playoffs. Philadelphia takes on New Orleans on a Monday night, so the Giants can sit back and watch that game and see what their future is. 15-0, our final score. The Giants win it. Coming up next, the NFL Today postgame show with Brent and Herb.